What's the Nekudas? The Nekudas Advarim is that brings what it says in Ayin Beis basically that there's Demach Seir Asher Yechsarlim, but when get to be Mamshach L'Kus and Eilim is when Tzviras HaMalchus. There's one Eifen of Ashpa that you're Memalid Tzorech. That alone there's a couple of dargis that basically there is Tzrachim Tsisin and then there is Al Derech Sus Lirkevelov. Means even in Yonah Mizved there's Keches Primim and then there's Chetzenis HaKeser. There is the Indian of Blig Vol which is higher than Eilim, but it relates to Eilim somehow. We can think that's Ayin. Keser is one of the Hepar Tzufim that are also considered a Chisar in the Malchus. Not only the Keches Primim. Okay, we discussed it. Rakapanim, so that's and basically, till Chitzenes HaKeser, which is Pchinas Arich, that was Meir, Bizman HaMishkan. And then there is Ashiris, which is Atik, which is Eidin Sof, which has no Shaychas Eilumis, beyond Eilumis, which that was Meir, Bizman Shloime Melech. And then there is Chesed, which the Rebbe is going to speak about, that's going to be L'Asad Lavi, and that's Chassidus. So now the Rebbe is being Mevayir, basically, based on the Maamar Nayim Beis, that this is a Kabbalah, that the Arin is this man, where then was Meir, Chitzenes HaKeser, Pchinas Arich. But how does that? What does that mean? These dargis? And the Iko that was explaining over here is how the fact that the air that was Meir as Chareis gedrikt, it expressed itself in the Eif in the way there was the bitter and Nitzutzis. That's the Nekudas Advarim that it was being var. So there is one type of bitter Nitzutzis which is Mitzat Keches Pnimi, which that the Rebbe doesn't discuss in this Maamar B'chlal. There is the which that Nishving in the Mretzach. That's the bitter of the Bittul Amenagid. Through being pashat leichem with the menagid. You say you have the derech, you have the Meget Avedis Hashem, you have the Nefesh Elikis, which has Seichel Amidis. L'idach you have Zelum as Asal Likim. The Rebbe Shamas also has Midis, and the Nefesh Elikis comes and says that Alpi Seichel Vasaga, the Eibishter is the Amitis Amtzias, and the Rebbe Shamas says the opposite. It has its own Seichel Vasaga, and it says that the purpose of life is for the sake of a person enjoying himself, and there's a battle. And the Nefesh Elikis, in order for him to be Mizgaber, he has to mevatel the tinus of the Nefesh Bahamis, of the Nefesh Elikis, and to persuade as to be mevatel the Menagid. So that's called a bitter through primis. You deal with the Mekabel, you deal with the Semenegate Aved and Vel, you deal with the Elam Hazim, Mitzad could have a whole different system of the way they relate to the way the world has to be, and what's the purpose of life. And in order to cancel that, mevatel the Menagid, and to be pearl that Vel should be Kelit Elikus, you have to deal with it. The Mishkan of the Midbar, the Arnak, the Vigven, the Bir and Nitzutzis, Moshe Rabbeinu took the Aron into the Midbar. Kuma Hashem, there was a Zgalas Elikos, via Futzeivach. And the Pchtenius means that the Oive Yisrael, the Menagdim, didn't fight. By bringing the Aron in the Midbar, the Shemim Malachi Knan heard about what's going on, and no Megel Koyesh Viknan. But the Pelam Primis Yonim, the fact that Bechitzenius, the Amim weren't fighting, that's an Ivea from the Aveda Bir and Nitzutzis, of Bittel Menagdim. Bittel of Yesh, Bittel of a Mitzvah, just Stirat Elikus. And what Eifon was Moshe Rabbeinu Vatal the Stirat? He was leichem with them. He had a whole back and forth, battled with the Klippus, or he brought the Aron into the Midbar and b'meila they were in his battle. But that's called in the Maamar Nayim Beis, that's called Mulcham. So that there's two shlagim. So the first thing the Rebbe says, the etzem fact that Moshe Rabbeinu, that the Aron, that means Kedusha, the Eira Kedusha had to be Meir in the Midbar. I just wanted to say a word before. So the fact, this type of bitter of not having to have a battle, that's Mitzad Eira Blikvo, that's Mitzad Keser. If the Eira Kedusha was of Meir given, would be Mitzad Keches Pnimi, Mitzad Chabad, Mitzad Seder Shlalshalos. So Mitzad Seder Shlalshalos, Kaviyachol, Mitzvah Elam also is equal, so to speak. The same way there's Seichel Eliki, there's Seichel Elam Hazar. So because you hold one way, I'm forced to accept what you're saying. There's a fight. Du hast the Zeichel anders. That's a regular Muhammad. There's a Tutzdadim. Each side has their milas, and in order for one to win, you can't just win while you have to. There's a battle. When is a shaykh to say that they have the Mashal the Gashmis and the Rebbe's the Dugma in Gashmis? You have a Zam mighty Melech. You have Tutzdadim, and the minute one side, let's say there's a Menagid. Each one wants the Vil Einem and Ditzvei. But the minute one side shows this guy has weapons and he has bombs and this and that, the other ones are coming with a couple of sticks. So they're not going to begin to war. They're not going to start fighting before. If you have one side that's Shalei Berach stronger than the other side, then the minute the one side sees the mightiness and the starket of the other side, the Chatchilim won't be like. When is there a battle of Naftak is a Chleichem Zan and to be Machtlish the other one if they're Berach Zelazah? But if one side Shalei Berach, so then there's a But the Rebbe said, but by the Arin, that's only mitzat kesef. Shas Meir the Eira Blig Vol, of course, the Lukus is higher than Ishtalshal, is higher than Vel. Mitzat the Lukus have Blig Vol, Vel does his battle. Mitzat, if Mitzat Seder Ishtalshal, so the Eibush had angestellt the Seder Abri in a way that there's Kedusha and there's Klippen. So you can't say that Tzad Gilei Akdusha Velt will become Eis automatically. Even with Tzad Gilei Akdusha, Velt has an Asmak, Velt has a Chshivas. Velt has, we're Kaviyachol equal to Elokus. The Mele, there's a battle. Mash'ink in Zman Meish Rabbeinu, Tzach Meir Given Chitzeni Yisa Keser, which is, the Cholos Keser is the fact that the Eibush is higher than Elam is. The fact that the Eibush is Blik Vol, that's Mir Be'efam Makiv. What happens then? Then the Nivra is Mizbatal. Then the consistency is Mizbatal. But the Rebbe says that wasn't the ultimate, that's called Bira B'derech Melcham in the Maamar. So the Rebbe says, two shlavim, why is it Bira B'derech Melcham? The first thing the Rebbe says is the very fact, they say in the Mashal, that the Melech he can't stay in his Iram Lucha, and B'meila no one fights him. There is a Tzad Menagid, there's a Medina that wants to fight him, and B'meila he has to go out of his Dal Damas, and he has to show them his strength. If he's not going to go out of his Dal Damas and show them his strength, then they're Menagid. In order to be Mevatel the Menagid, he has to go there and he has to show his good Dula. That's Muhammad. Muhammad in the sense, he can't stay in his Dal Damas, he can't stay with Menucha, he has to go deal with the Menagid. But the Eif and how he deals with the Menagid is not in a way of fighting it, he just shows him his greatness. That's the Inzach. So the Rebbe speaks, what's the Pshat of it? So the first word the Rebbe says is, I'm not going through the Be'emek case. What's the Rebbe is bringing? You learned it? Those that were... So I don't want to go through all the problem. The Rebbe the Rebbe says is, you say in Pashas Hadvarim, the fact that the Melech is Yedid to the Magma Menagid in order to be Leichem, in order to be Mevatalim, that shows that the Menagid has its Tfisas Makam Megabi. How does it work Pashas in the Mashal? I was saying this last time. The very fact that once that the Melech Azay, you say saying in Pashas Hadvarim, there is, if someone's whole Keshet Holocaust is the fact that he understands Dula Sabayr. He has Rayis, let's say, Asfaran Getlachkeit, whatever it is. And then he hears that there's someone that Api Seichel says Fakert. That's a Menagid. That's going to be Maflishim. That's a Stilitin. So you want to go cancel that Menagid? Upfreg in the Sfar. Mash'egin, if someone, by him like the Neshama, that the Neshama is by him is Meir Erdin, he has a Mun in the Ebershter. His Keshet Holocaust is not based because Api Seichel, he came to Maskana Asfaran Getlachkeit. Zayin Neshama like, and he has a Mun in the Ebershter. Someone's going to say that he has a Sfar Fakert. It's going to be Menagid thing. His kesher is not based on seichel. His kesher is based on emunah. So Imitzu comes to give him a kasha. He's not going to be bothered. It's not going to be mafleshim. It's not a menagatim because there's no tfisas makom. So you have one melech at the first thing last. You have a dugma. You have a melech God leveram and a few batlonim in the chveis in the mikveh zogen that he doesn't know what he's doing. That he's a geilam and he's not a good melech. Let's overthrow him. It's not going to be tfisas makom by b'chol. It's not even. They're not even mitzvahs that he has to deal with. B'chal. His melucha is not affected by a few batlanim. So here, the fact that the melech is that Moshe Rabbeinu took the Mishkan, went into the midbar to mevatel klippus. So the retzach has a dargen elokus where klippus have kaviyachol tfisas makim. That the fact that there's that velt is not a keli to elokus. Kaviyachol is takes away the tkifus, takes away the takif. So that's emes tfisas makim. So that's chitzeni sekes. That's one thing. And Memele, since we're dealing with a dargen elokus, not verstehen what's the hezbollah, but since we're dealing with a dargen elokus, that the fact that an elam herzach nish dememes is a stir to him means it's kaviyachol tefes makamim to the extent that it's negeya in order for the shleimos hablik vol. Is that from battle then it's such a eifin even laachri habirur the tacht is amas battle again. The menigah is amas battle. There is also very posh Cheshvan because why was the tacht in this battle? You didn't fight it. Because it was Meir, the Gila Eira Elin, which is bleak vol. But in the Tachtim was his battle. So the Tachtim was his battle, Mitzad the Gila Eira Elin. But was he attacking his battle? Since Mitzad the Madregas, the Elin, the Tachtim has to the smoking. So even after the Bittul, first of all, he's not, it's a bleib together from Welt. And Mitzad the Metzias Elam, there is still an option to be Menagid. Lepoyel, the Tachtim can't, he was in his battle Mitzad the bleak vol. But the bittul is only a technical bittul, so to speak. You heard the meaning? The seichel and the munah. It's talking about as a mashal, the pashta mashal. I mentioned this last time. This mashal, just I'm reaching. The Chassidus mashal says it's kama pratim. I don't want to much in gerät. I want to say ibrachas miyad prat. But you see, mashal. I'm saying munah and seichel. But let's say the Rebbe brings also like munah and seichel. But let's say the gabi rotzen and seichel. As they state in Chassidus that rotzen mitzad atzmei does not have to. The Ratzin comes from a place in the nefesh which is not mugbal by the regular quality of seichel. It's pshitas nefesh. A person could be nimshach to something even it doesn't make sense to want it, and it's not even chveis mitzad seichel doesn't make sense, mitzad midas doesn't make sense, but a person is nefesh is nimshach. So we're saying you can say is stam shigas. But Mitzat Pshitas HaNefesh, Mitzat Pnimi, the Etzem HaNefesh is not limited to the Gdarim of Seichel. He's not, a being which is Eizgemas, and according to the way things have to be up Seichel. The Nefesh is a Mufshetes V'fnei Atzma. And it's Nimshach not based on Seichel. That's where Ratzin is a take a bleak vol. Because the Dargas and Nefesh which is Nimshach in Ratzin is not a Darga Mugbalis. It's the Nefesh itself, the eye of the person which is not based on Seichel V'Asaga, which is Mufshet from these Gdarim. He himself is Nimshach to something. That's where Ratzin is there, Ashtar Kazak. The Poyel steht in Chassidus Hazeh that's Fran Hazar Ratzin, where there is a type of Ratzin where since Ratzin itself is Mushish and Pshitas and Nefesh, the man that's not negate. Ratzin doesn't begin with Seichel. There's certain things that you want because Api Seichel, he came to the conclusion that these things are good things to have. That's a Ratzin Apitam. That's not the Chumos of Ratzin. Chumos of Ratzin is that a person wants this thing, that what initiates the Meshicha is, because his Nefesh is Nimshach. It's a Pshitas and Nefesh. So since Ratzin is Mushish and Pshitas and Nefesh, he's not mischashiv, even if it doesn't make sense to want it. But he's not mischashiv with seichel amidas. There's a strong, let's say, a strong passion, and the fact that there's kashas up seichel is not going to be machlish. Person is based on a svara. Let's say I decided to want it because I came to the conclusion that it makes sense. So if I have a kasha on it, my meshich is going to become weaker because the whole interest in it was based in seichel. But if a person is nimshach, if there's this erer or ratzin to something, that means the fact that the nefesh is nimshach to a certain level. And then it doesn't make sense to want it. It's not going to be mafresh the ratzin. The take for ratzin is not going to become weaker because there's a kasha on seichel for this ratzin. It doesn't begin with seichel, and the mele it's a passion which is neveim, it's a pshitas and nefesh, and the seichel won't be mad of a master, won't be menaged. That's a neif. But that's zweiter if in this Veran, there steht noch Chassidus Hazeh that b'shas a person wants something, even though the yisayt haratzin hebs verstand von seichel. But the poil, the teva, the varim is when a person has a meshichas nefesh to something, he starts finding also kolmei atzdakas in seichel to be mastik his ratzin. If there's a kasha on the ratzin, he'll try to enter it. The ratzin is poil on the seichel v'tam to be mitzi to legitimize the ratzin. So what's the pshat? What's takadeh? So the vart is this darga in ratzin is a even though ratzin itself is not seichel, ratzin itself is based on the pshitas nefesh. But where is the ratzin made? The ratzin is meir in a person where by this person seichel means something. Seichel is not garnish. Since the ratzin is poil, it's the way the aris hanefesh is meir in the mitzias ha'adam, where their seichel is a mitzias, so the person is not comfortable with the fact that his ratzin is a stirit seichel. Even though the ratzin itself doesn't begin with seichel, it begins with pshitas hanefesh. But since it's the mishichas hanefesh, the way it's meir in a person, which by him seichel is a factor, so in Mela it bothers him that seichel doesn't agree with his ratzin. The Mela, but there's zuchin time and sibis to mark design to be. What I'm saying is, if you have something which is based in seichel, ad hasta kashe, it's mevatel the Indian. There's a stirit to the Indian. That's the Indian is in danger. Is at risk. Ratzin is not ratzin be'etzem has sich nicht angegeben von seichel. The ratzin is because the nefesh is nimshach. But since it's the Meshichas Nefesh, the way it's meir in the Metzias Adam, we're in that realm of Metzias, Seichel is the Indian. So if the Seichel is a stira, it's there's a Tfisas Makim to Seichel. Even though Ratzin itself is Pshitis, but Ratzin Kaviyachol is aware of the fact that his Indian is Pshitas and Nefesh, but there's also another category of being, which is Seichel. And the fact that there's a category of being which also has value, that's not Behes into the Ratzin, that's Machlish to take it for Ratzin. So that's what the Rebbe is saying here. There's the what the Rebbe is speaking about till now is that was for a darge mitzad keres primiyim is a biru b'derech mocham. Mitzad keser, which is the area of a bligvol, mitzad keser the ratzin. So then it's mitzad bligvol. So the mitzad was kabiyachol is the Rebbe there. Is mitzad was is my forbud with the Rebbe mitzad keser because the Rebbe because that's the emes, not mitzad seichel. It's nirgash the Rebbe is the emes and he's in self and he's bligvol and that's the mitzad samtzis, not based on seichel. So why is it that Moshe Rabbeinu mind, so to speak, that there's menagdim in the midbar which are stiritalikus? I have to bring the ardent to go fight those menagdim. Because the poil, even though mitzad bligvol is meir der emes, but the poil, where is this? It's in itself, it's meir in Welt. We're in Welt, gvol is a mitzias, and seichel is a mitzias, and mitzad geder ha'elam, there is a menagid. So even though the menagid is not, it's not a stirit to the era bligvol, but legabi the era bligvol, gvol is a mitzias. You say the simple, the era bligvol, the way it's meir in Welt. The Rebbe says before, Keser is makif, it's prat makif. It's the way it's meir in Elam is that there's a darga al-Quds which is higher than Elam is. The era bligvol is meir in Welt. So legabi this darga, there is a mitzias of a Welt. He's not gvol, he's bligvol. Not like chachma v'chesed, where they themselves are a gilei l'kus in a tzir of gvol. Kesser is blikvul, but it's the era blikvul the way it's meir within the context of a world. And since so the gabi that darge velt is a mitzias, velt is an inyan. He's beyond that. He's beyond gvul. But sudam mitzias from gvul. So and the fact that gvul in mitzad gedra gvul there's a nigut halakus. So there's a place, there's a valuable space where there the emes is not made, which is not batul halakus. So that's a chisarna, so to speak, in the tegef ablikvul of the elder. So since er is like a hecher, but the pearl yenim mitzias and mitzias. So even the Rebbe says about weiter mainly even after the blikvul is meir, and b'shas meir the blikvul the tachten is misbatel, but he's misbatel not because he came to the conclusion that nigud, not because velt kenish menagid. Mitzad gedra elam there's stillness in this longer for nigud. Mitzad gvul zelu mazal asalakim. Because era blikvul is meir, say you have someone that mitzad his seichel he can understand tzaddik klipa. Lepoil he's overtaken with emunah, let's say. But even if he's overtaken with emunah and therefore the svares that he has is not machlish the emunah, lepoil seichel nish gemark in keli tzaddikus. The pearl there's no manik b'shas era blikvul is meir and velt, and it's meir makamar enim in amida. The mitzvara which velt has is not menagid. It's battle. It's not only the svara is in his battle. You don't have to take away the svara. The svara is not a stira to that. That's a meir the Arab deal. It's a meir the Eivish hecher from Gvul. Hastakasha is not going to be. That doesn't create a nigud because the Lukus is based on a whole different gather of mitzias. But leidach the gather since the gather of Gvul is tefes makom legabe the bli Gvul and mitzad the gather of Gvul itself. It's not mufrech to be menagid to Lukus. So behelim is geblieben a menagid. Lepoil. Everything's going to agree with Holocaust because the Arab Blikvul is made everywhere. But Ba'amiti Sayyinanim, the Metzias Ha'elam is a Metzias which yesh b'chshivas. And Mitzad the Gedra Ha'elam, Mitzad Gedra of Gvul, there is still an Asinas Makom L'nag. See a simple case. Let's say you have a Darga of Ratzin, which the guy with Ratzin, the way Ratzin is made in the Metzias Ha'elam, where the guy with that Darga Seichel Mitzvah is the Metzias, but the Poil, in Seichel, has sich nicht abgelegt that this in Ratzin is correct. But the Meir, as ich start to take it for Ratzin, that it's nirgash that the Ratzin is based on Pshittas and Nefesh and what's in the Gezach Habshaylas. I'm nimshach it. So the Poil, Seichel won't be menagid if in Seichel Herzach to take it for Ratzin. But that's called that the Helim is nishad the menagid. Because Seichel has a Chshivas, and Mitzad Gedera Seichel is nicht abgefleckt Hebach Ratzin. He can fight the Ratzin. So Meil is nishad the Helim the menagid. Sh'ink in Mashigim is man Shloime Melech. It's not the Pshat that the Shloime Melech Retzach in Adarga where the alien stays bim kaimim. That means Shloime Melech the word is Meret. Let's say the way that I was saying in this shlav Meret v'genazam esor Darga which they got that Darga. There's Pshitas and Nefesh. Like I said, the second Darga. You have a king and a little kid says that his Mumlucha is not B'Yizar. It's not a nigud. I think it's not. His kipus is based on something else, and this tachten is not a mitzis, which is mavav. It's cool to make a lokshes. Others is not Shloime Melech. So the bitter was never from a darga and Lukus to get that darga. Eilam has no tefisas makim. So if Eilam has no tefisas makim, it's cool to make a lokshes. What's art made that it's at Gedra Eilam? There's a nigud. The whole mitzis Eilam is batal kolokshes. Because we're talking about a darga and Lukus, which legabe that darga. The Metzias Ha'elam is not a different caliber, so to speak. It's not Nish Begidam Netzach. The Rebbe says in Tanya, you have a Svara, let's say, and then you have a Svara Amuka, but Mishush is a stira to the Svara. It's not shy to say that. Mishush is not a Metzias in Seichel. Has no value in Seichel. So now you have one Eifen that the Menagid, you have one Eifen the Menagid is a stira to the Gufa Inyan. You have Eifen the Menagid is not a stira to the Gufa Inyan. But the pilot ends up being that there's a Makim which is also a certain category of Metzias, which there, my Indian is not Nimshah. That's the darga of Meishav. And then there is, Legabi the Eldian, the Tachten is not a Metzias L'chatchila. It's Kula Kamikal If Kula Kamikal so then, he doesn't bother to go there B'chlal. And Mitzad that darga, Velt doesn't spot them L'chatchila, Kula Kamikal So as man Shloime, they say B'Parshas Advarim, as man Shloime, there was such a tkifus in Malchus Shloime, that it wasn't possible to fight him. Why wasn't it possible to fight him? Yeah, there's say Al Derech are going to say that a little kid is not going to think of fighting the Melech God Levaram. It's not beged the Melech Atchila that he should have such a hafamid. Al Derech Zeh v'bal that mitzvah Melech Atmerik ben Azad Darga in Velt. Which legabi this Darga Kula Kamikol Achshiv legabi his Malchus Velt is not Tfisas Makim. And does it Meir given that nothing has to be smoking? There's only Malchus of Lukus. Besides the Malchus of Lukus, there's no other mitzvahs. Bashekim is man Moshe when nicht das gewend der Sach, that there's nothing besides Machas Holokus. That Machas Holokus is so strong that if you're going to have a thought to fight it, you'll be in his battle. The Kaviyachol could be a half a minute, so to speak. But Lepoil, the dark is bleak vol, so you'll be in his battle. But not that there's no space for a half a minute. That's why closely business there. The Rebbe want to all bring out that Shloime Melech is a shirus, that in order to have the bitter b'derech menucha, darf man dafka onkommen to the area itself, which is l'mayla mishaychas leishlashtos, l'chinas atik. That's why the Rebbe goes through as this b'eme case. Because the truth is that even mitzad the darg of Keser, even mitzad the darg of Ratzon, there is a darg of Keser which you have this type of Indian where the tachton is not to be smoking. So if the whole beer was, if the Tisasmakim is man Moshe Rabbeinu was, the fact that the Tachton is Negeya, and therefore we went to be Leichem against him, and then Bashet the Tisasmakim. So to be Shevel, that type of Tisasmakim, that finish Ankum and Atik. That's Ardech Kameshu Bim Kaime already has that mind. I was saying before the Mashal. The way the Ratzon is Bim Husay, before it was Nimshach to the person where there's a category of Eshes. The way Keser is Benefesh, there's no Tnu of Seichel Amidis. I mean, at that darge, if there will be a stir in Seichel, Taka won't be Tevis Makam. Medafresh onkommen zu den of Atik, which is in Saf Shalman Meshachas L'Shlashos Tagam. Elam Shemea Davar Hazeh. So gehen wir ein bisschen weiter, ja? Der Elam weiß das, wenn man sehen weiter. Shloime bei Emekes the Gam Kshab Biru Beif Shamavar Bim Kaim. You have such a eif where the Mavar attack has been Kaim. Why is Mavar Bim Kaim? Mashmos is because the Rebbe not just saying a technical thing. Mavar has been Kaim, but I say the Pashto Lashon. Shloime Gam Kshab Biru Beif Shamavar Bim Kaim. El Shuba Darga Kazush Mizvar Yesh Litzis Smakim Legabei. Habil Damanagad any bit of Batachos. So what does the Rebbe mean? The same thing. The same thing as before. Just the Managad is lazy. The one side is lazy. What's the main thing? You see what I'm saying? So Bishlemer Gam Kshabiru Beif Shabavar Bim Kaim. So this Bavar Bim Kaim is a technical thing, or that shows that it's in a darga that lowering himself down to be leichem against the managid is beyond is not why takes Bim Kaim. Was nicht teves smoking by him to the extent of so was mit der Rebbe dazu sagen? Means you have a zasert. Why is it not? Why is it? What did the Rebbe say before? That Kshabiru Beif Shalin Bolim Kaim Hareze Michia Shatachn teves smoking Gabe. Mashing if the early is not Bolim Kaim, blight by Zich. So he doesn't bother to be a Vatal the Managid. What does that show? That the Tachton is not Tevis Smokim. Das weiß ich. If the Tachton is Tevis Smokim, better gain, so he's going to go and fight. Means we're dealing with an early in which the Tachton is not Tevis Smokim. And therefore, you say, we're dealing with the Shasemir, the Tekef Amunah. And Legabi, and the Moon is not Nechash. I mentioned the Kasha. You have a Kasha on the Eibishter, so what? The Eibishter is beyond like both. So, why should it bother? I don't even have to enter your kasha. I don't have to enter your kasha. It's b'chal not machtash dini. But Afa Bikein, it's still not a mitzvah b'derech menucha. Because if it's a darge where the tachton has a tfisa smokim, so the Rebbe is saying a whole darge is the Keinian. The Rebbe is saying there is a tfisa smokim where the fact that the tachton is menagid is choshuv by the elgi. It's tfisa smokim, and it's kaviyachol going to be great a certain chlishus in the take of elgi, in the spashtus elgi. Here. Kulik mikolachshiv. It's not saying kulik mikolachshiv. But if the tachton has, the Rebbe is saying, the Rebbe doesn't say a taishim was bashtet. Any bedak was achidak the muscle tfisa smoking. Even the way chitzeni sekeser is benefesh, is there a concept of bull? There's a concept of bull. You say there's a munah. Shas a mensch leich be'em munah. So the fact that he has a kasha, let's say. The question: I don't understand why the Eibush this kasha. It's going to be machlish by me. My connection to the Lakus is not based on the fact that everything he does makes sense. So the fact doesn't make sense to be a kasha. But that's right. Even though the menagid is shalei be'er, even to the extent to be payalep sachlishus, but the menagid epis is it as azar and ish garnished. What the Rebbe is saying in the second, the darg of Shloime Melech is that meret eresav shema meshachas leishtal this. It's not the pshat. The Rebbe Amit is saying stuff before the whole concept of vul came to be. Just to say the word kulik mikolachshiv is nachnish bitla menagid b'tach. Kulik mikolachshiv means there is a concept of attack. There's a concept of gvul. The concept of gvul is batal b'tachlis. But there's a concept of gvul. In this prat, the Rebbe is not going into ice touching in was besteht is smoking. The word is the most any musik of is smoking. Then the bitter is not a bit of a tachlis. If the tachtin somewhat has epis was and achizah for mitzias, then the bittel is not a bit of a tachlis. You get what I'm trying to say? You understand what I'm trying to say? Or
in what ways in mitzias?
What I'm saying is they're saying the mitzias we're speaking about till now is mitzias, so you can uptouchen. Here, then there's kulak mikalachshav. Kulak mikalachshav. Let's say legabi blig gvul is not a mitzias. Is there a concept of gvul? There's a concept of gvul, and blig gvul, legabi blig gvul is garnished. He's garnished, but there's a concept of gvul. There is mitzat amitus erin sof. There is no concept of velt melchadchila. Maybe I'll bring you a dogma like this. There's takam efanim in them, but I'll just bring you a dogma like this. What the Rebbe says, that the Rebbe says in Tanya, that someone says in the Ebesh Leis Mashav Tfisebe, so the Rebbe said that it's ka'imra chachma rama v'amukah that you can't hold it in your hands. So the Rebbe says kol hashemei yitzchaklei. No one laughs. The pile why does no one laugh? But the Bill had a nice marshal to a sipper, but he said that one time the Bachar were building a sukkah, and one Bachar asked another Bachar, "What's the shear of a mechitza?" So Tzveiter had gesagt, "Terke de dibur." Everybody started laughing. He says, "This is the dogma that the Rebbe is saying." So a joke is, let's say something. If is one way of saying it, you say, "Leis Moshe Tfisebe." No one can understand the English. That doesn't express his greatness. You see, this grace of God, a little kid in Kita Aleph can't understand this swara. Nicht in dem bringt Charez and grace. Some certain things you say, the reason why what you're saying doesn't mean anything, because it doesn't bring out the greatness of this person. He's far beyond that. Not that what you're saying is a joke. You're going there, you want to bring out his greatness. How do you bring out greatness? The low levels can't grasp it. But you're speaking about, but the low levels you're speaking about are not of the same caliber. So it's not. The Alter Rebbe said then it's not a joke, but the Zogstazach, you're saying that no, even the little kids, even the Mitziyanim in pre-1A can't understand this Islam, this Amukah in the Gemara. You say I'm saying but it's not. It's not necessary. If you say something that has no connection. Say take the dibur. Say what's the share of a mechitza? Gaiva take the dibur. Sometimes I take the dibur. It's too low to bring. It doesn't express the Indian. It's not on that line. It's not on that line. B'chlal. Just someone says the Eibush are so great they can't understand them. Nish wegen dem Netzach. Insaf is not that type of musik of greatness. We think of the musik of Ligvol that is beyond limitation. We can't imagine the true ultimate beyond limitation. We can't imagine what it means. We have no real musagim of what great limitation is. The male is you're not when you say that Seichel and Nivra doesn't understand him, you're not expressing his greatness. Where the Torah says you're not on the right track, B'chal. The whole musik of greatness that we know that is beyond limitation, what it means true in itself, we have it's a different concept altogether, which we have no idea what it is, a whole different Indian. So there's a difference between saying that the first, let's say it's a musik of blig vol, where in was besteht the blig vol that it's beyond gvul. Gvul is a concept, and there's hecher from gvul, and there's dargis in this ein arich of the blig vol to gvul. So you'll get a dagger which the gabi the amidis of ligvul kula kamikalash. But then it's the previous atik is you're saying atik in such an almi shaykhs l'ishtashelis has no shaykhs l'ishtashelis. Before the concept of gvul came into being, what's the musik of ein sof? We have no idea what the musik of ein sof before the musik of sof existed altogether. So that's the cheshvan in them. There's no concept of it. Legabi keser, legabi chitzeni is a keser, which is a darga of ligvul that has some that is within the same. It's Gedulas Hashem in the sense of Bligvul. Mitzad that Indian, even however much you're going to speak about that flow of Elokus, and Legabe this darga Gvul is not Tevis Makim, there is a concept of Gvul. You can't say there is no such a reality. There is such a reality. Legabe him it has zero Tefis Makim. There's like Eif Sidah Azam Esratinian. However much you're going to say that Legabe him it's not Tevis Makim at all, it's Bligvul. Saf kol Saf, Sidah that there is such a phase of being of Gvul. And Legabe this phase of being, can a menagid say? So the menagid wasn't his batal legamri. There is a whole different word. What's helped me that legabi him it's garnished? What I was saying before, that's not bitla menagid. See, legabi him it's garnished. Legabi the chacham gadol, the fact that little kids are laughing at him is not tevis makamei. Is there a concept because his maimid, his mahos, has no shaykhs klal, is not built in anything that this little a couple of litzanim are going to be mafresh. But is there a concept of these people? He's beyond them, they're not even smakim. Is there these people exist in reality? They exist. And mitzad together, they don't necessarily agree with him. So there is a phase of reality that there's a space for a menagid. You can't say that there's no menagid exist. Could they say that there's nothing? Mitzad him, they're nisbatel. But legabe him, there is such a concept of being. Legabe him, they're not even smakim. Legabe him, they're not even smakim. But even if we speak on his level, there is such a concept. And from their point of view, is not nisbatel geworden the efsharis for them to be menagid. So Kumta said there wasn't a bitla menagid legabe. That's a chiddush. That's the Sibbe case. In Pashas, you're going to say, Apes and Meir, Erin, Safa, Bligvul, and the Gvul does not have a smokim, so there's no Ivecha Mesanecha. There's no Ivecha Mesanecha. Because mitzad this you say, B'shas the Herzach, the godless of this Chacham Gadol, so these little kids laughing, it ceases to exist. It's garnished. The guy with this godless, this mitzvah is garnished. So if you have futzo, Ivecha, it's not futzo, it's nicht da. Mitzad this in. And then nicht does it. If we're dealing with the mitzat chitzei nesakes, which is a musig of Ein Sof, which has some shaykhs to welt, that means in was besteht Ein Sof the fact that he's beyond gvul, so there's a concept of gvul, and he's beyond gvul. However much you can say beyond gvul, there is still this form of reality. And b'meile, you can't say the menagid is nishtok. You can't say there is no menagid. So the Rebbe doesn't, the Rebbe is just saying as avart. Even if you're going to find the beer in a way that the tachton is not tevis makim, but ipsazam is darge, where there's epis tevis makim to the mizbar. Unuptight was bashtet. Any way you're going to say tevis makim in the most darkest the So the bittul is not a bittul b'tachlis. Was du ufte for Shloime Melech? That before there was a concept of a welt. This is not mamish. I'm saying the Rebbe doesn't speak about it in the language of different musagim and Ein Sof and explain the image. You have other places next to this. Different dargers in Ein Arech. How mitzat Kesser's Ein Arech, Primis Kesser's Ein Arech. The Rebbe is speaking within the concept of bittul amenagit, bittul of a stirit alikus. Mitzat Seder Shtashalos, there is an sinus makim tastir. And we're dealing with mitzad which darga, and what happens in this world is Allah reflects that mitasin. So the Rebbe is not going to the pratim of the is nishtak in welt. In this nishtak there's dargas. The mitas irin that's nishtak, the whole concept of a world that's mitzad irin of shalmalim mishaychas leishtalshlos. Mashing shaychas leishtalshlos, even though he's far beyond it and it's not tivis makim Allah beauty. Ape sudah is amisot inin. It's not a mitas in arich. It's not a b'meil. It's not a bittul legamri. Interesting thing, but this is not mamish the same thing. But they have the lashon chassidus that mitzad the eretz of different simsum loy hayam makim lamidas eretz. Loy hayam makim. It doesn't just mean that there was no physical. There's no place for him. The concept of a world is mufrich. So I don't remember exactly, but the Rebbe would say this mashal. What's the pshat when you say that something, when you're being shayl something, you say that something can't be. Kamadargis in them. You say the Muslim here bittul managid. You're canceling managid. When you say that nigut alakus doesn't exist, you say it doesn't exist. Finished. Well, what's it to speak about dargis and not? You say someone says that they saw a migdal perech. They saw Empire State Building. It's aufgehoben and it started flying. It's Kenner Zayn. But for what's Kenner Zayn, you can explain. First of all, you can be mitzayir. You can be the Kemetzayers of the Indian. Kemetzayers and the building is flying in the air. Kemetzayers Zayn. But it can't be. Why can't it be out? You have kashas on it. First of all, the kavod of the this basic questions. But that's one thing. Then someone's going to say, but that he saw, they say, how do you call it? Circle and square. He saw something which is size circle and size square. That's more mufrich than Migdal B'rei Avav. You could be mitzayir this type of tzir, have kashas, because the kavod of the Migdal is Kenner Zayin that the ear should chveis aresh lepandas in the karka that it should fly. Circle and square, what's the pshat in such a machzor? The etzem inyan is not shaykh. It's not that the etzem inyan is theoretically I can be mitzayir, but there's questions on it. Questions, I mean, the etzem inyan, there's a possibility, but there's factors that deny it. Then there's the etzem inyan doesn't begin. The etzem inyan. Then there's someone's, but that even that there's what to talk about. We're going together. Together doesn't work. It's against seichel. But if someone says that he saw nothing, the chatchila, there's nothing to talk about. The chatchila. Someone says he saw nothing. It's the shaykh says garnish. He saw nothing. What I'm trying to say is that when you say that this is mehr as that darga, which the gabe that darga, there's no tfisa smag. The Rebbe is saying over here is the fact that we have menagdim telekus ne'elam hazeh. That's not stam. Some bad people that started to be menagdim. The Eibush created the world in a way where mitzad gedra elam there could be a nigut telekus. As they the Eibush b'shafim devat mitzad gedra elam zelu mazal asalakim. So or you deal with it like mitzad kechas prim. You fight, you deal with it. That's bir b'derech l'chama mamish, and then you're not 100% sure. Then there's bir b'derech hamelis, and Meir Erin Sof as a hecher from Welt, and Zvertis Vatal. But within that itself, so that we have to see mitzad how what's the eifon of bittul ha'elam the gabi dein Sof, and this comment argues. And if mitzad chitzeni sekeser where Sof calls Sof, there is. However way we're going to be mafshited, somehow there's a mitzias of Vel, that means that the mitzias of the Menagid wasn't as batal legamri. Because the fact that there's a Menagid stems from that's the Teva Elam. And if der Welt nicht geworden ist, in noch geblieben this potential for the mitzias of a Menagid. So in order for this to be the bitl Menagid betachlis, is dafki mitzad the Erin Sof Shalomayla Meshachas Leibus. Yeah, this in the dargers of big there's come ifan. This Rebbe Rashab says his word that the Gabi big the fact that it's big is that it's mushit from gvul. So that itself gives the muscle gvul to smoking. It means the gvul is an Indian. If gvul is nicht an Indian, so what's the pshat that is big gvul? Mashik misadamite saying stuff. So not a concept of big gvul. It's beyond that idea also. The Rebbe speaks about, not here, not in my base, but he speaks about the machlekes of the Ramak, and the Ramak lo yodav inyan atzimtzum. And the mitzvah inyan of the Einarech of the Eibush Tevel, that the Arizal was megal. That even the hechste dargin is Shtalshalus, and the nidrigste dargin is Bashva Mamash. So the Rebbe is mazur with this in Agais of Paschal this in this Tuifan. That mitzad bli gvul, you can't say that it's Tzilz Vasiyah B'Shava Mamash. Because Gvul has episode of smoking. Varai, you're saying that it's bleak Gvul. And if it's Gvul as the smoking, it's the gather of Gvul, Chochem is higher than Asi. Mashiach mitzad Erin Sof that the result got geret. So it's not nothing to do with the concept of Gvul. So that's the amitis bittul elam metachlis. Also ich dachte sich mir das Pshat. Also das ist was der Chezer was war. No? Huh? No?
You also that's
No. What was the real Masber?
3 in Yonim in things not your Rashai.
3 in Yonim?
No, the 3 Yonim in Loi. I'll check with the Etzim Zag, the people is...
You're worried about the tape that someone's going to...
No.
I'll send you No, what was the real Masber? The Masber in the Pesandish?
The Melech, where he's Mr. Atzmi, nicht in the Meilen Tzivuim.
Okay. That what? That this is that's what he's like.
What's in smoking?
It's the same concept. Same concept.
Yeah, I'm saying it's
Okay, good. The Elm knows B'chedesh Shlishi. Okay, it's the same concept. Okay, good. No, that the Rebbe says not B'chedesh Shlishi. I don't remember, but the Rebbe brings some time that it says Meneget L'Asad Levi. The Rebbe says what's the pasuk? V'yavoi b'nikras atzurim. That people are going to hide from the Gedulas Hashem. There'll be Yiras Beishis. So the Rebbe speaks. What's the dogma for Yiras Beishis? Like a person goes into a tzaddik, God of the Kaddish, and a Shemzich. So the Rebbe speaks. Why is Alter bringing a dogma dafka from someone that goes into a tzaddik and not Yiras HaMelech? So Yiras HaMelech, since what's the pshat HaMelech? HaMelech is that he's a Melech Alam. So you can't say that Am is garnished. That there's no Beishis means years Beishis the response that a tzaddik is when someone goes into a tzaddik and his hergish is that legabi the kedusha of this tzaddik there's no space for his mitzias b'chol. He has no hatzdaka to exist. Legabi the amitis amtzias was a herzach and the dveikus kedusha tzaddik so he's glad to say a fair that perodom. He doesn't. I'm saying he has his Hashem with his very being. He's embarrassed. He can't find himself a place. Mashiach mitzad melech va'am, even if mit der Herr der Remus HaMelech in the Hechster Eifen, but Lepoilam, was besteht he's a melech? He's a melech that he has a nation. So that the Am should feel that B'nei Chusay, there's no tzedakah for their very being, that's not Shaykhis by melech va'am. Okay, that's an understanding. Okay, good. Yeah, kind of nutzen mit dem Eichet. Anyways, we went this way. Beseder. It's the same in the Kudah. It means that there's a darga which the Gabi the Elyon, the Tachan is Chatulun al Metzias. That's dafka by that Shaykhis by a Yira from a Tzadik. Mashiach by a Melech, even if the Melech is Berein Arech, Berein Mus Min Ha'am, but there's a Yachas in the Melech. And what's Bashtet is a Melech? That he's fearing this Am. Can't you say that the Am has no Hatzdaka for the very being? Zanazah. The Alter Rebbe's dogma of Yiras Beishis is that you're embarrassed you're embarrassed with your Metzias. You feel that you don't find place for your being. That's because the Herzach HaDarga, which the guy with that Indian, as that certain Metzias existiert nicht. Metzias is Dvekas Talakus, davening, learning, that's Metzias. A Metzias from Glata that doesn't exist to begin with. There's no such a concept. Shemt is with the Metzias. Okay, that's the... Good, lass mir gehen ein bisschen weiter. Oh, so here, this is what the Rebbe wants to bring out. It means in the Maamar and base is not esgeteicht. In the Maamar and base, so to speak, you look at the Maamar, I mean, it's, everything is much more, the Rebbe breaks everything down here. What I'm saying is, when you learn the Maamar, so there is, let's say, there's Chitzeni Sakeser, and Shloime Melech is Atik. Atik is Ashiris. Wo hat sich Hareis gebracht, that Shloime Melech was, that's what Meir Gvem Atik by Shloime Melech. So the beginning of the Maamar says that there was a Shiris Muflag. Shiris Muflag just brings out that there was a major hashpah. What do you see in them an expression to Atik? Kesser is big vol. I'm saying the Eibishter to give a Shiris Muflag is that's where it's expressed. The fact that it's Meir Gvem Mitzat Atik, Eretz Shalmadim Mishachas Leilamis, or the fact that Beisamidish was a sudden Nisim. Nisim there was a Chveis in the Midbar there was man for 40 days man Hashemayim. So the fact that there was Nisim, wo hat sich Hareis gebracht that in Zman Shloime hat Meir Gvem in Sof Shalmadim Mishachas Leilamis. So they want to say wo hat das Hareis gebracht in the Eifen Abirur. That's what the Rebbe is negate to say here. If you that the beer of Shloime was a different type of beer, not just that the Tachan was this battle legamri, in the sense of Heder Tzvizas Makom. That it's a deeper ending. That's what we want to. So Pizeh Shleise beer Bezeh Shemashma Ba Maamar. It's not clear in the Maamar there in but the mashmos of the Maamar is the Zeh Shloime Hi Ish Menucha means the fact that it was Ish Menucha. I mean, what's Pshat Ish Menucha? The fact that it was beer Shloime Derech Menucha. Why was it bitter Shloime Derech Melchama? Because of this in of Atik, of Ashiris. So the shaila is, if the vart was, if the whole yirid of the midbar was, is the fact that they had to, that the Tachna was taking makom to the extent that it was yirid, lo makom amenaget, levatle, for them, and what's the bitter from Menucha Derech Shloime? That he had no, that it wasn't, that the menaget l'chatchila had not tefisas makom to the extent of him going down. For them, darf nicht ankommen zu Atik. Zehn so Shalmadim Mishachas Leilamis. Mitzad Keser, kfishu, even Mitzad Chitzeni is a Keser. Mitzad Ratzin, the way it is Bim Husay, Bli Gvul is higher than Gvul. And Bli Gvul is not higher than Gvul. And Gvul is not machlish Bli Gvul. Mitzad the Bli Gvul, kfishu Bim Kaimei, he's ain't soft, was Artem that is a Kasha. You say, someone has a Munah. The Seichel is only a problem if the Emunah is Meir in a place, not the Emunah K'mei Shu Batz Miyusah. The way Emunah is Meir in a place where their Seichel is Tevis Makim. So in that darga, even though my connection is based on Amunah, but the poil, the fact, since I'm living in a world that Seichel means is a factor, so the fact there's a kasha is going to be machlish. Mashiach mitzad the neshama itself, before it's mere in a person where there's Seichel, it's a primis on neshama. If what's them negay that there's a kasha, well, it's not a stiritim b'chlal. So someone says a svarda, but then someone throws a stone again. It's not going to be machlish a svarda. It's not in the same. It's not a stiritim. The Rebbe says Ava Pikein. So then, if the whole Ma'ila Shloime Melech was, as er nicht gedacht hat upgehen, means that the Tachtin wasn't Tifus Makim to the extent he didn't have to go down, but after Onkom it's a primus akesa for them. So that's what the Rebbe linked to, that with the Fiyah Onkom it's a primus akesa. Because Mesatachzeni is akesa, you're not going to cut a darga with the Welt has no Tifus Makim at all. But Takas the Darkas, Epicet Tifus Makim at all. If there's Epicet Tifus Makim, so then the Menaged wasn't as bad as from the same Cheshvan the Rebbe made before. Because Welt is the has a Tifus Makim. However dark the Tifus Makim is, and beside Geder Eilam, there's an Tifus Makim to Menaged. The Menaged wasn't as bad as It's a piece of beer. It's mashal Maamar. That the fact that Hashem is menucha is because Shimon Chova Kamesira Bashlom Musa. That means what's Kamesira Bashlom Musa? He touches up an ayin base. A shira shalmadam melachisar. So that's a kash. L'chol abas hafan onkum tafket sa'atik. Like the Rebbe ki amit is in the menucha means the true concept of menucha. Not you understand. Avad if the alien is in a darga where the tachton is not tipped smoking by him at all. So he's his battle. It means literally speaking, he's his battle. You're making alumnus. L'poyol if the tachton has some is episomitzias, so theoretically speaking, he exists. That's a very mufshetik tzir of menagid. If you say you have an alien in which someone says a Gracer Melech and a few kids don't like him, so it's not going to be Tevis Makam. But the Poil, do kids exist? Yes, kids exist. And the Poil, they don't agree with you. Or something like that. But Mela, that's Savarta Tevis Makam. But they're saying, but Amit is in the Menucha. The true concept of Menucha. V'sholem uksha menagid this battle betachlis. B'chdei shemenagid this battle betachlis, but the Mshachas in Ashiris, in itself, shelamayla mishayches leilams. Look at the Rebbe touches up. Says the it means shayach leilams. Shayach kelo gam seviv keser, kivan she'er zen leisen makam leilams, means safka sab mitzat this There is such a concept of a being. He's not shelel betachlis. Eilam Lashon Halav Esther. So means, and what's the gather of Eilam? Eilam is a place where it's at the gather of Eilam. Elokus is nicht Meir. That's the gather of Welt. Halav Esther. So Abe said, "Afil Eira Seiv, which is Nesamakam Leilam, is Hapitel Dam Ragna Sheba Eilam. Adikil Eir Zeini Bitel Batachlis. V'zes Shloime Yish Menucha B'Shalom. Shalom Hayi B'Yamav. When Sheba Yamav is Amsharas Chanes Atik Ashiris. It says this in the Kudu many times. So you look at it a little bit technical, but. If Sazamesert Inyan that legabe this Inyan, there is an Isinis Makim Tevelt in the most darkest Dekaif. See, a word in Shel was still Telekus Betachlis. Yeah, so let's see the Hora 56. Shloime dazau achiluk ben menucha l'shol. Menuchi she'en le'melchamas, gam le'a melchamed alich le'makam ha'ev. Aber זה שיש מנגד בהלם, שאין אליכם, אין זה היפך השלום. מה שכן שלום הוא שאין מנגד, גם לא מנגד בהלם. The simple meaning of the words, menucha means that the alien, he has nothing to worry about, so to speak. He's calm. Shalom is that there's no, that is more madgish, not the fact that the alien is b'menucha. That there is no menagid. There's peace.
Is it more like the menagid on his height?
No, they're saying the pano. They're saying the pashta uptouch the word.
So you pashta uptouch the word shalom, peace.
But peace means that the menagid is also mitzad his masculine. Peace means that there's no peace is the massive, that there's no menagid. Vasheke menucha is not the fact that there's no menagid. That he has nothing to worry about. So you're saying a dargin shalom. They're not only the menagid. You're saying pashta shalom is not good. You say two people were fighting, and then they decided not to fight. What's wrong with that? Shalom. They're not fighting. What's wrong with that? So there's no Welt is in spot govern Selikus. There's only Elikus. What's the mitzvah of Welt? Akeli Telikus. What's the problem with that? Then there is that the menagid is at his. That's already a different target. That not only the menagid is not menagid, but he is meisif in the Indian. That's not the tight shalom. That's not the push the tight shalom. I don't mean keli. I mean that in such that home mitzvah Welt is echetim to the mitzvahs mitzvah zman shleim. What's the malchus? The pshitus was that it's malchus Yisrael. What's you say? You have a musig. You have a chves. In many you can have you have gewiss the kam yifanim in them. But if you have there is I'm saying the same thing. You say something's the pshitus. What's the dogma of them? As Bisman Shlei Melech ich habe nicht gehört, ich sage damals in der Dokument, but I mentioned this last time. They had a Molek Zeiten when there was Malachim. There was Zars, ich weiß was. So today we look at what we don't know. Why should this guy be the Führer von Ali? So there was no concept of democracy yet. There was no concept that every Yachid in the world you have a say because you were born. You have a say. You have to be from the royal people. It didn't enter. This svara didn't exist yet. The reality is that there's a melech. Same as Mashiach Melech, it wasn't the pshat that there was a tzad, azay. The mitzvah sa'ilam is afteira mitzvahs. There's Malchus Yisrael, the world is ran by Malchus Yisrael, and the world is created to do mitzvahs. There's no yechetim otherwise. This is what the mitzvah is. So you make a mitzvah befanach. That's sin is battle governed the whole gather of Elam Eter Helam Behester. Sin is given. That's Shalom. There's another Musik of Shalom. They use the tchon of the menagid for that's not Chavar. That's not the. In the next Maamar, the Rebbe is more these two pratim. The bittul hanigut, and then that there's a musik of the tachton being nim, not only being this battle, but being nim. The Rebbe speaks two darkest in it. In Zman Shloime, we'll see next time. Love in the Eretz Chanukah. Pizi yumtek mashe kosev hu yeh ish menucha v'achar kach meisiv Shloime yeh ishmei v'shalom v'shaket etem Yisrael b'yom. It's interesting. According to the Zohar beer, what's shaket? Shaket l'chur is sein I'm saying Shloime is that there's no not only there's no menaged as tifis makim, there's only his kaf. Okay. Good. Wir sind weiter. Was schon gelernt ist, ja? This is the Nekudas Inyan. Yud Alf, I'm saying Yud Aleph, but everything's very betamsis. You could miss the point sometimes. Good. Mam Shabbat Maamar, the Rebbe sagt das. Inyan Aches Shalomai legam Shiur, as we brought before, that even that the Pashas, according to the Pashas, the one brings from the Rambam, there's Tzedakah and Chesed. Tzedakah is Mashpia Kfi Masharoi. Chesed is a flogus atay, which that's Ashirus. But then he brings in the Gemara that Kamilas Chasadim is also Lashir. So it's Mam Shechem Maamar that Inyan Aches Shalomai legam Shiur, Shalachem Kamilas Chasadim Yigam Lashirim. That's the Gilid Losid Laveshu. Nali Yes Yigam Gilid Shayv Mishleim. Why? He brings on the Shem Lashna Kabbalah. And the Rebbe is going to speak Kama Inyanim in the what the Rebbe Rashab brings in the Kabbalah part. To Arez bringing the Chiddush of Lasad Lavi. It's not Ez Getash, no matter of Ein Beis. Kama v'Kama Pratim. We'll see. He says, first of all, Shachem Mishleim Mesim Mechnas Atik, which is net like V'nivdol from Welt. Erin Sof Shilamad Mishachas Levelt. L'As Lavi Tiyam Shachem Mechnas Pnimius Atik. And they're like, so what's the Pshat Pnimius Atik? Hainu Ein Sof Sheberat Lo. Sho Ikar Inyan Atik. This is the steht dort in the Maamar. Pnimius, it doesn't stand say Pnimius Atik. It means Ein Sof Sheberat Lo. Sho Ikar Inyan Atik. The Rebbe already said before that when the Rebbe Rashab brings that Mos Chasadim is Bein Lanim, Bein Lashirim, he says that it's Lamail, that Chesed is Lamail in Madrigas Asher. There's no why say Nebi is Lamail in Madrigas Asher, because if it's Tamazeh Noch Hecher, then it's not. Then it's all within the context of Ashiris, within the Darga of Ashiris. Mos Chasadim Bein Lashirim hates that within the almost ideal Asher, even the Gabehim is Shaychus Chesed. It means Chesed is higher than the whole Darga of Ashiris. The house of Shaychus, if it's just higher, but it has some erech to the ashpa, the asher had before, so then it's an isafan, it's ashiras. And if he didn't have it, it's episodim gefelt. See, it's not amitas in asher. So it means the chesed is azam esar darga, which is a different sub legamri than the bchina of atik. That's what the Chari is bringing. So that's what the Rebbe teaches is very easy getaish before in the Maamar. So behesim lezeh, these l'shen the Rebbe Rashab says the Rebbe is going to teach how these the Rebbe Rashab is trying to bring out how the Indian of Primius Atik is not stam nocha hecher. It's a sug acher v'gam. So the Rebbe's l'shen before. Let's get mit zeh. The Rebbe zeh. Lohoyer. Zeh steht hayatiko is starkach betlas reish. As steht in Zeh. It means every parts of, even the parts of Achi Elyon, there is gimel and zayin tachtenis. Al derech, like you say, when you get the person that there's meichin amidus. That means in Pashas Devar, without not to be no Kabbalah, but just we shouldn't feel like we're just reading Chinese. But meichin is the mohus hadavar kfi shu la'atzmei. You have the mohus of the Indian in itself, and then you have what's its yachas to the mitzias shechutzimeh. See, meichin amidus. Meichin really represents the mohus ha'adam kfi shu la'atzmei. That's even they say Pashas Musik of Meichin, the way a person views things, his point of view. That's what's the mentality of this person in himself, and then what's his attitude towards other people, towards other things. Is he nice? Is he negative? Meichin is not about if he's nice to other people or he's gevordik. That's his yachas. Meichin is in himself what type of how he's taifis in him, not the pale mamish is yachas to zulas. So there's in Sfira Shamal, you have the Muhus HaSfira itself, and you have its Hashpa to the Sfira Shalamati Iman, or its Yachas to the Metzias Shalamati Iman. Okay, But he says there in Beis, he says in Zohar that Hayatika is stark betlaceration. Means wo hört sich damit ist in Atik in the laceration of Atik. Okay, we'll see. Pirush Arachav, the Rachav Taish Tazeh. Ikar Atika hu Ein Sof. Means amitis in of Atik is the Ein Sof, which in other words means that it's Ein Sof. And for was sagen Hayatika stark betlaceration, weil Shem is al Musse begimoration the crime gamma gumation b'Shem Atik. So what do we have from according to this Rachav? That Atik is Ein Sof. Since Ein Sof, where does he find himself? Where does he hide himself, so to speak? In the Gemoration. Therefore, the Gemoration are called Atik. So the true musik of Atik is Ein Sof. Not that there's a tzir of a sphere of Atik, and Ein Sof is Atik. We'll see later. For was während die Gemoration während angerufen Atik, because in ze gefindt sich der Ein Sof. For Pizze, Ikar Atik Ein Sof shebechol Gemoration. Reflect as Akash. That the Lashon Ein Beis is that, look at the Lashon Ein Beis. I'm Shachem Chinas Primis Atik. Ein Sof sheberadlo. He doesn't say Ein Sof shebeatik b'chol. Ein Sof shebereishet lo es yad. And then he says Shu Ikar Inid Atik. B'chol is nicht das. According to the Rachav, Ikar Inid Atik is b'chol Ein Sof. You have so to speak the parts of, I don't know, not understand what this means. You have the parts of Keser, and then you have the Ein Sof which is in the parts of. It says Ikar Inid Atik is Ein Sof. But in Rachav state that Ein Sof is why is Atik Gimoration called Atik? Because Ein Sof is Misalim in the Gimoration of Atik. The street darkness is, I don't know what the names are. The Rebbe Rashab says that Ikar in the Atik is Ein Sof, which is in Adlo. What's Vilim in them? Ein Sof Shibir Adlo Davke. If he wants to bring out that the Ikar in Atik is not another darg in Keser, but the Musik of Ein Sof Hanim Sabin and Etzal, he wants to bring out the Retzach Nish Noch Darge in Sphiris or in Keser. There's the Nitzutz Boide or the Matzel, which is Ben and Etzal, the Ein Sof. Good, so that's Ein Sof Shnim to the Chola Gemoresh. Where's Niregash? Let's say the parts of Atik, that's the Keser, the parts of Keser that's in Zayin Tachtoimus. The Ein Sof Sheberadlo, the Ein Sof Shebeatik, that's Meir in all Gemoresh. So why is he Madgish Ein Sof Shnim Sheberadlo? And he says that's the Ikir of Atik.
And Lord one of the Gemoration?
Huh?
And Lord one of the Gemoration?
Yeah, but so why is he Madgish that? If you want to bring out, if the Pashas wants to bring out, it's not Stam as a Atik, the Ein Sof Shnim Shebeatik. Amitis in about it. So that the Rachav says that that's going on all Gemoration. Why is he Madgish Dafka Reishet L'Esyad? Das in the Rebbe reden. So everyone wants to bring out like this. Aber Maamar Zema Varsh, Ikar in the Atik, when Sof Sheberad Lo. Point the Rebbe wants to bring out is that the Rebbe Rashab is being Meramis here, that L'Asad Lavi is not another Darge in Ur. Not another Darge in the realm of Giluim. It's Atzmas. See, that is an Atzmas that got the Giluim is a different Sub Legamri. The Rebbe Rashab wants to kvesh that the Uft of L'Asad Lavi is nicht noch a hechere Darge. A mitis in Ein Sof. Mitzad the his galus of Elokus, in the realm of Gilui, Shloime Melech was the Shleim was in a Gilui. Chinas Hashiris. Uft L'Asad nicht a hechere Darge from Gilui. Not a higher Darge in Eir. Atzmas get mir. Das will is bring. And previous Adik was mered da is the Etzim of Elokus. Atzmus say Muhursel. But it doesn't say it in Ein Beis Atzmus, just like that. I'm saying just like this. So this is Kilo Akash. Maamar Zema Varsh, Ikar Ein Atik Ein Sof Sheberad Lo. So wie Yishlo Zalpi, Masha Kosu Ba Maamar Behem Shecheini, noch a shtickle from the Rachav dort. The Rachav says, when he says that Ein Sof is Misalim, before he brings. Al Shemis, Al Musib, Al Gimoration, so all the Gimoration are called Atik. The Navasakter dort, and the Lashon of the Rachav is that Ein Sof is Nimtza, Misalim, Misgale B'Gimoration. That's the Lashon of the Rachav. So Azay Valtamir gesagt that he uses three Lashonis to bring out the presence of Ein Sof in the Gimel Rishonis, the Atik, three Lashonis, Nimtza, Misalim, Misgale. I've then later to the Maamar Ein Beis, Gimel Lashonis, Nimtza, Misalim, Misgale, Im Kemoi, Gimel Inyanim, the Ato Hu V'Avai. It says Ato Hu Avai Levatecha. So the state that Ato Hu V'Avai are three dargas. So he says in Ein Beis that Nimtza Kemoi Ata, which is Atzmos, that's the Atzmos Hamor. Misalim Misgal is Hu V'Havaya, which is Beis Madreges Be'er. So you have Etzem Ha'er, which is Hu, and you have Havaya, which is the Er, Kfish, the Gili Er. And what's Ata? Ata is the Etzem. Hamaru Misgal, that's Ata, as I stated. So then, when the Rachav says Nimtza, it's going on the dark of Ato, which is Atzmus. What does that have to do with the word Nimtza? How is the word Nimtza, why is Ato, which is Atzmus, Merumes in the word Nimtza? We understand why Mis'alam Mezgal has to do with Mis'alam is an inyan which in Yana is to be Bes'amos. In Yana is that is beyond Tzir, beyond Tfisa, beyond Gil. That's Etzem Ha'er. Etzem Ha'er was Bashteit, the flow of this that is beyond this Galas. It's higher than any form of Tzir. And Mizgal is the which is Sheikhs the Gil. But how does with the word Nimtza, how is that wie weiß das auf Etzem? So there brings here Nimtza, where is it? Pirish Nimtza, who shu Nimtza kamei shu ba'atzmusay. Say that später again. I just want to finish means Nimtza, the true musig of Nimtza, which Nimtza means that he's Nimtza kamei shu ba'atzmusay. That you only have an atzmus. Every other Inyan, there's the Inyan Muhosei, and there's the way he's nirgash in a makim. There's the way he's nimtza, the way he's mispashit, the way he's miskabel, let's say. You see the way you understand the pashtus. A person knows someone else, or someone tells you a svara. The way you understand the svara is not the way the svara is, the way the svara is understood by Reuven, or the way the svara itself is, because there's the way your kelim is taking it. It's never going to be the Inyan kamesha hu batz musa. There's the way you're being tefis. In Eir is a certain Inyan. So there's the way the Inyan is b'mchusa and there's the way it's nirgash, the way it's nimtza, the way it's experienced, so to speak. And that's not going to be k'may shehu b'atzmusa. Because it's nirgash by the mekabel, not the way it is b'atzmusa. That can atzmus shaykh to say that he's nimtza k'may shehu b'atzmusa. Means that he's nirgash, the Torah says, Amor hu be'ezgalas, that gam noshim b'am yaretz. So the k'may shehu b'atzmusa, that's the way it's izgal. Let's first finish the point that he wants to bring out here. Then we'll. Das nicht negate, der Teich from the Werte. He wants to bring out the. That's what he wants to bring out. According to this word, means it's two. In the Maamar, it's nicht. Verbindet es nicht these two Sachen. First, he says that the Osad Love is Primis Atik, which is Ein Sof Shebelad La. And a few lines later, he brings V'shteit in the Rachav Nimtzum Mis'al Mizgal, and he says Shloime, the Nimtzum Mis'al Mizgal is connected Atu Vavai. I was saying it's connected, these two things. What he brings later, the Rachav, the Nimtzum Mis'alam Mizgale, is corresponds to Atu Vavaya. Dav Villar is bringing that Ein Sof Shenimtza B'Radla is Atzmus. Radla is Nimtza, and Nimtza is the Atzim. Let's see. But Pizeish, the Maamar Shikrin in the Atu Ein Sof B'Radla, does Villar is bringing? What's Villar is bringing? That Iker in the Atik is Ein Sof. And Iker in the Atik is Ein Sof, which is in Radlo, which is the Atik, not the Huf Havai. That's it. Understand the Indian? That's Primis Atik is the Iker in the Atik is the Atzmos of Ein Sof. The Farz Doctor Ein Sof Shebradlo. Not just another Darga, which that corresponds to Ata within the Huf Havai, which is going on Atzmos. The Inyan Nimtza, Shein Sof Nimtza B'Radlo, who Shu Nimtza B'Radlo K'mei Shu B'Atzmusay. It's not that the way the Ein Sof is in Radlo. Apes have also get the Inyan from Gilui or Inyan of Eir. So his Nimtza, not the way he is B'Atzmusay. You say Ein Sof Etzem Eir is Nimtza is Mis'alim in the Pchinas Reisha. It's nicht der Ein Sof K'mei Shu B'Atzmusay. Mash Ego when you say Ein Sof Shenimtza B'Radlo, since Ein Sof and relates it's Ata and it's Nimtza. Nimtza is that mitzad etzem, so he's Nimtza kameshu batzmusay. There's no shini between the way the etzem is b'mehusay and the way he's Nimtza b'radlo. So kum tachayis yishlevar zish v'yishlem haya ashiras amitis af shlo yaz yigilad losid ki achidish yilasid lo yishaz yigilad etzem shalamanim b'chinas yigilad v'idin agiluim haya v'yishlem that's the Rebbe saying. We want to explain how it lost that. What I want to bring out. That even though lost is going to be a higher air, but it's not a chisaron. Shloime wasn't lacking anything, because within the realm of Giluyim, within the realm of the Milas and the Aflois and the Shleimas of a Lakus that has any shaykhis to any concept, any Inyan, Aflois of Milas, that was b'Shleimas b'Meshleim. Lost is not another Milah. It's not another Inyan, not a deeper Aflois in the Lakus. It's a totally different Inyan. The Etzem, which is beyond the whole category of Milas v'Aflois. The Atzmus of Elokus beyond any tfisa at all. That I was going to say later a few aces. Atzmus is not the Milas and the Elohim of Elokus. That's Mizgal and the Yin of Giluyim. It's the Eibusher's Ein Seif and his grandness, his greatness. There's da etzema, spashus, gile, and das is gal geworden beschlemus, the gdula velikus, the reichkeit of velikus. Reichkeit, I'm saying in muhus, the milus vaflois, that was his gal beschlemus, b'mishleim. Lo asad lavi is the etzem, beyond milus and shlemus. Which is later a parades thing in them. You heard the minion. That says the Mashal and Tanya, just saying this also connects to the Nimtzak Meshu Bats Musa, that Shem Shemaim, that Tzimtzum was only in not in Meir. V'adarabah, HaMoiru Bezgavas. What's the Hamoiru Bezgavas? You say the Gam Noshim Am Yoretz, you say usually, there's a certain concept that everybody knows about. So why does everybody know about it? Because it relates to everybody. So you have Chvei Seder Satayra Darton, that those that understand the Kabbalah know about it. You have certain basic things that I don't know exactly what's the basic knowledge, information that everybody knows. Why does everybody know about it? Because it's on their level. On their level, so you know about it. See, Atzvus is the Gidel. See, the fact that the world has a creator, that's a simple Muslim. The world has a creator. The concept of a creator. So that the concept of a creator, so that is everybody knows about it. It's a simple Muslim. It's be'erech for everybody to have a knowledge in this type of thing. The fact that you see that Hamoru is galas, that the etzem is even Noshim Hamoru know about the etzem. It's not the pshat that it's a concept of a lakos that relates to the Noshim Hamoru. It's his mayach. They know him the way he is Batz Musa. Tazevi the etzem is emalin kem. When you say that someone knows something because his mayach is has such a concept in his head, his tape is this concept. That means that he takes the concept the way he understands it. But Etzem, you don't say the Noshim Hamoros know about it according to their musagim. The Etzem Kamei Shehu they know. Not according to their musagim. If someone knows, exactly, everybody knows, let's say that in order to drive a car you need gas. I don't know exactly. But everybody according to their musagim, what gas is and what the car is, everybody knows it's a simple thing, but they know it according to their musagim. Mashiach and Amazachtamar who is galas, yet the interface. Yet the interface done, there's an Abish there which you daven to him and you beg him, whatever you know. But the musig, what they know, is not behesen to their asagis. It's the etzim k'mei shehu batz musig. The Rebbe says, when they say, when you ask a Pashto Isha, what's the pshat, what's this Abisher they're davening to? It doesn't have any touch, this idea. They daven in Simitzin. There's a true someone that they daven for, and he created the world, and he's everything. What is this someone? There's someone bashtetish and a touch. Not that he's great, and not that he's bligvol. No touch at all. That's the Maamar. That's the Abisher himself. That someone that they have, that what they have in their head, that's the Maamar who is Galas. And the second no touch. The Abisher himself is beyond any touch. So how does that make sense? A concept without any touch. It doesn't have a touch. They never thought it's a real davening to an Abisher. What is this Abisher? Is he great? Is he small? Is he big? Is he yellow? Is he blue? No touch. Not no touch because he's pshittis, beyond touch. There's an Abisher. Without any touch. That's etzem nimtzek meishu batzmius. And that's not the Atzvas bashtetish that he's tachlis ha'ibli, tachlis ha'flo, tachlis ha'bligbol. There's him himself, and that's it. Beyond the concept of iliv ha'flo. We'll see how the Rebbe touches it up over here in the Musik of Biru. Same way the Rebbe spoke till now. That the uftu when he get to Shloime, in what was expressed, the atik of Shloime, in the Eifen HaBirur, there's the Rebbe is going to explain the fact that Lost is going to be Gilei Atzmos, how it's expressed in the Eifen HaBirur, which is going to be Lost. That's the Rebbe explains in Sifyud Aleph. You hear what I'm saying? Same way the Rebbe spoke till now. Mishkan was Chitzenis HaKesef. Arich. And Shloime Melech was Atik. It doesn't just say Enesis Kabbalah Atik or say Enesis Chassidus Atik is Ein Tzad. The Rebbe touches the race how it's expressed in the Eifen, the way there was the Bittul HaManagid. The Bittul of the Hell and the Hester HaElam. Was it an Eifen of Medaf Tvisas Makim? There's no Tvisas Makim. So Al Derech said there was going to be a the fact that it will be Gilei Atzmos, not just in Enesis Kabbalah in Sof Shabbat Lo. How it is expressed in the Eifen of Bir and Tzutzis Lo. And the Rebbe said, and that's the Ascholis Chassidus. Let's get into that. But Sifyud Aleph and the Hemshech is very important. This is the heart of the punchline of the Indian. Get Aleph and get base. Someone go learn. This is important. That is good.